Hi, I'm Lee, and welcome to another edition of Sales Engineers and Their Classic Cars. This time we're featuring this 1968 Mustang.
Welcome to SEs and Their Classic Cars with Lee Berk and Troy Maire.
Hey, I'm in front of this 1968 Mustang owned by Troy Maire. Troy, why don't you come in and tell us a little bit about the car?
Yeah, this is my 1968 Mustang that has been in my family for about 30 years. It was my dad's car. He got it and never really did too much with it. When he passed away, he actually left it to my son. And if you come along, take a ride with me, we'll tell you about some of the work that we've done on it. Well, so we've actually done a lot of work. So it started off as a 3-speed straight 6, and we've converted it over, put a 351 Windsor in it with a 5-speed transmission, redid all of the suspension and put disc brakes all the way around. Mufflers were my son's choice. He wanted the little lower throaty sound, and he was able to achieve it. He actually built the exhaust system himself.
I decided to take a look at the commercial that was around on YouTube for the 68 Mustang.
Only Mustang makes it happen. Only Mustang makes life great. Mustang moves you. Mustang grooves you. Mustang, Mustang 68.
1960s advertising is very interesting. Let's shift gears. Let's talk about what's going on at the office. So tell me, what are you working on? What's hot at Comcast these days?
Well, as you know, our one of the hottest things we got going is our Active Core platform.
Yes.
Within that, we have just recently launched a version of a managed router, software-defined managed router off of that same platform.
How is that different than our software-defined wide area network product, or SD-WAN? Because that I hear Active Core used with that a lot. So how's it same, how's it different?
Well, the same because it's off the same platform, right? Off of our Active Core platform. Different in that it's really built for more of a single site.
So when you mentioned fully managed, does that mean that customers kind of set it and forget it, and Comcast does everything for them?
Absolutely.
Generic hardware.
It's generic hardware, and absolutely, and that's just, again, kind of the second phase within our Active Core platform, with being able to add additional product sets to it. SD-WAN was the first one, managed routers the second.
When we talk about managed router, I know Comcast also has a hardware managed router. How is that the same, and how is that different?
Well, it's the same because, from a functionality standpoint, it's doing the same thing as the software-defined, giving the customer the ability to have it fully managed by Comcast, not have to worry about going out sourcing it themselves, paying an external third-party company to manage it, to secure it. The difference between the two is obviously one is a hardware version of it. And actually within that, we have two different options with either a Cisco device or a Juniper device. So we give the customers a little bit of flexibility based on what applications they're running, and maybe product. If they're leaning more towards a Cisco, we have that available to them, or Juniper. So
sure,
giving customers the ability to kind of choose the hardware device that they're comfortable with also. And within Comcast history, as you know, we've never been one to provide that terminating equipment. We've never done everything just on a layer 2. So now moving into that layer 3, not only for the EDIs or internet access, that our customers are asking for routers, but when we get into our ENS or eBPL layer 2 multi-site connectivity, we've always been asked, other than just terminated on our layer 2 switch, to be able to provide the networking aspect behind it, to be provide the routing mechanism. So we'll work with the customer however they want their network set up, however the routing needs to be done, and take care of it all for them.
Our software-defined router, I guess that's EDI only. And the hardware-defined router we're using Juniper and Cisco, that could be on any Ethernet product.
Any Ethernet product.
Any Ethernet product.
Yep.
So that really almost gives somebody who wants that traditional network with a traditional hardware router our ability to provide that for the first time, I guess, ever. And I guess that's the great thing about software is that if you want to add a feature or function, it's just software.
It's just software and just push it out. Absolutely.
So is there anything I should be asking you about our software-defined router, our hardware router, that you think would be important to know? No.
Well, really, it comes down to the simplicity of the product itself when you break it down, and giving the customer the flexibility, like we were just talking with being able to manage it, call in if they need changes. They just make a simple phone call into our care department, and it just makes it a very nice, clean, fully managed solution for that customer.
You and your son have a lot to be proud of, and thanks again, and thank you for joining us for our episode of Sales Engineers and their classic cars, and until next time, thanks.
Thank you. It's been fun. So now the circle begins.